Welcome to the Gary Abbott Budget Watch channel. And clearly, AliExpress is having a sale right now in March. The sale is ongoing. I want to tell you what I have done, what I have looked at, and I want to make sure you understand my thinking of watches that I pulled the trigger on the sale. And I don't have them, so I can't talk about them completely, except I picked two watches that I've looked at for a long time. And let me give you a look. I'm going to stick at first to the two watches I went with, two watches I came close to. Well, first of all, many of you have probably seen the Doxa here, the Doxa 600T. Very popular watch. When you go on the Doxa Watches website, for about $1,600 US dollars, you can pick up a Doxa in the orange. Now, I have a watch that is similar in orange that I really love outdoors around the pool, and it just works. It's the Citizen EcoDrive, 200 meters of water resistance. I've used it in the pool. I like this watch, and I've had it for a while, and I've just liked it. I did change out the band on it to a rubber band, so I like the orange. It's the only orange watch I have, and I like this Doxa 600T. So we head out to AliExpress. And what I'm going to show you here under AliExpress is the Seastern 600T. Instead of $1,600 on sale right now, $123. And if you look at this watch, it really is quite the watch. It looks very much like it. You know, if we go back to that other page, there's been so many good reviews. I think that's the other part of these. When you look at these watches here, let me go to, it is this version 3 with the bigger hands, which I did see that it was similar. So as a homage, it looks really good. And it is a 200 meter water resistant, 40 millimeter diameter, 13.5 thickness. I just kind of liked it. I pulled the trigger on it. I'm going to get it. If we go back to these, it looks a lot like ceramic bezel on this. You can get it without a ceramic bezel or with. That's a little bit of extra dollars. I've been looking at it for 2 years and finally said, I'm going to get it. I think it's worth giving it a try. The next watch that I've seen a lot of is the Breitling. This is kind of an old classic Breitling, the Top Time. And I didn't know the history of this a couple of years ago when I started looking at this watch. I didn't know it was a homage of the Breitling. But let's take a look at, so Surgis makes a watch here that is kind of a Top Time, but it comes with the Seagull ST19 with the swan neck movement. The swan neck version, there's one without the swan neck. Swan neck supposedly makes it better for regulating the movement as an automatic. And when you look at this watch, it's quite the watch for the price. So on sale, $133. Let me just double check. I ended up getting it for $122. So those are the two watches I went with. Looks pretty good. Are two watches that I reviewed that were, I believe, hot watches to pick up that I just couldn't do it. Just, you know, it just was like, eh. So one was this Pagani design. It just really looked good in the green. Now, two things that held me up. One is the no date. You know how much I talked about how I love dates, and I know some of you hate date windows, but there is no date window in this. The other thing that held me up a little bit, made me somewhat cautious, was its 14 millimeter thickness. I had it. I know you can get it. You can even get it for less than this $159, but that's what it's showing at the moment. But you can get it for less if you bundled up. So I came close. I had it in my cart, took it out of my cart. The other watch. Okay, the other watch was the C-Stern. Clearly I talked about this watch in my other video. But there are two versions. There's actually one with the Seagull ST2130 that, as you can see here, you can get down to $185 for the Seagull movement. It just doesn't quite come in all of the colors. I really wanted the blue with the gold accents. It wasn't available. Now, you could get this one for $161, and I can get it in the blue with the gold accent for $162, but it has a NH35. So you can pay a little bit more for the Seagull movement, but you can't get it in this gold, the C-Stern. I almost bought it. I really liked it. It has great reviews, 4.8 out of 100 reviews, 476 sold. Popular watch, usually costs a lot more. I would say this is one that you might want to look at. Those two watches I did not go with. I'm feeling pretty good with my Breitling homage and my Doxa homage. I'm feeling pretty good about those two. When I get them in, I'll review them in its entirety, go over everything about them. But if you're sitting on the fence, those two, I looked at them prior without knowing they were homages of a certain type. And I liked them before, but they always seemed a little more expensive. They usually were in the $200 range. This sale they brought down to $120, $130. Definitely a steal. If you're thinking about those two watches, I went with them. Hopefully it was a good choice. Let you know when I receive them. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.